Hi guys, welcome back to Hair Dry Treatment. The Soph and Meg show is back. Again, we keep scraping about all the different topics that we're going to be talking about, but you know what, I'm actually really excited for this one. It was an idea that came to my mind. I was thinking about some of the most entertaining players that I've seen in my generation, and I thought, why not ask Meg who she feels the most entertaining players are for her generation. Obviously, she's similar generation to me, but we're choosing 10 players, and already we're having a bit of a debate off camera about some of the players that we have chosen. It's hard. How do you define entertaining? For me, it's someone who's got flair, who's got skill, who gets you off the seat. Meg might think is someone completely different. So it'd be an interesting one, but we're ultimately doing who we feel the most entertaining players are of our generation. So Meg, firstly, how are you doing?
I'm all good. We're not scraping the barrel, so if we're giving
Football wise,
we're giving what they want. We're here to debate about entertainment. And like you said, my opinion of entertainment is on and off the pitch as well. So I have got some that people will be like, they did not get me off the seat, but I just think like they're a proper character in football.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, I'm all good. Absolutely loving this weather.
It could be worse, couldn't it? It could be a lot worse. But yeah, of course, entertainment wise, I've also got a mixture. I've got some players in there as well who, like you say, off the pitch are quite entertaining. And by entertaining, I don't mean like their agents like Paul Pogba's and they're a nightmare and they're constantly in newspapers. I mean players who actually do stuff that you kind of appreciate and you admire off the pitch as well as on the pitch. I'm guessing, Meg, you think the same?
Yeah, like the one that, well, two of them that I think that when you see them off the pitch and you see them in interviews and you kind of build your kind of opinion around their character,
Yeah,
they're quite entertaining. They're quite interesting. Like they're quite interesting in terms of their actual personality, not just their entertaining on the pitch as well. Some of it you can see like comes onto their style
yeah.
on the pitch, which I think is really good. I think if you've got like a really good personality, you can bring that onto the pitch. I mean, someone should put Joe Barton. Like, he's entertaining.
Ever since that Man City game against QPR, I can never forgive Joey Barton. I'm sorry, but that Aguero, that was all down to him. His stupidity. Like QPR had City in that game, had City until that.
The interview that he did in the French accent, like it's entertaining.
True.
It's so funny. It brings like you can laugh about it. Like obviously football and sport in general is a serious thing, but when you've got characters like that, and you've got entertaining people in the game. It's great. It's great.
Yeah. So firstly, I'm gonna go. Shall we just say one player at a time? Obviously, our first 10 that come to mind we'll do. Not in no particular order, by the way. We're gonna do the first 10 entertaining players that we can think of. We'll
so
do.
Give me you can start, but start with the first player that came to your mind when you were like, oh, talk about entertaining players.
Oh, easy. Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Easy.
Give me the first one because that is like the easiest one up there. What a guy.
Ronaldinho, he's number. I said not in no particular order, but he's definitely the number one for me. Like that guy, he was just immense. That goal he scored against Chelsea, where he was just on his standing foot, wiggling his kicking foot round it, and just toe pokes it into the corner. Like the back pass that he did, just some of the stuff that he did, he was just so original. And I love watching Ronaldinho play. He made the game look so easy. And so, like, some of the best skills that I've ever seen in my life, I guarantee that the majority of them came from Ronaldinho. What a guy!
He is just one of them like players that when you watch, your mouth just hits the floor. Like you used to watch him, and then you just be at the screen like, how has he done that? How has he possibly got round six players? But then you think it's so easy when, like you just said, he stood on one foot, wiggled his other leg round, so put the ball into the net. Now, if I tried to do that, I'd be like, what are you doing? But because he did it, it was the most fantastic skill you've ever seen. But just some of the stuff, the ball, I swear he honestly like put glue on his boots before he left. Like, he is so good. And just everything about, like he's one of them players that you wish were around for longer, or you got a chance to go and see. Like I never got to see him. Like I'd love to go and watch him live.
Yeah, he was.
And let's just go and watch him just in like a cage.
Yeah.
Like
you know Ronaldinho is a guy, because you know with most players when they end up in jail or wherever it is, like we get slandered. Ronaldinho, it's all like, oh, our sacred, our pure Ronaldinho is in prison. Like that's how most people reacted, and when it's another footballer, like there's outrage. But Ronaldinho, you just can't dislike him. You can't dislike him for whatever. He's just a class player. He seems a class guy as well. And like you say, we were unfortunate. I didn't get to see him live as well. That's one player that I would have loved to have seen live because he just lit any game up. Regardless, he was the standout guy. He was class. Big up to Diesel. Appreciate that. He said make sure you guys like and subscribe. Appreciate that. Hello Diesel to you. I hope you're good. And just seeing here, Lionel Messi is what someone's put in the chat here. Has Messi made your list? Has Messi made your top 10, Meg?
One thing we will just mention, because I don't think we mentioned it, is these are players that are in our generation that we've seen. Because we had discussed this before we came on here, and there are players that we don't really remember playing.
We haven't seen enough of them. You see clips and obviously you hear stories. Yeah.
But back to Messi. Yeah, Messi was up there. He is the third name I actually wrote down. If we're going to go in order, I mean, there's three names really for me.
Who are they?
Out. I think we'll have the same names. Ronaldinho's in a different league.
Yeah.
He's not even in the right. He's in his own list. I'm going to say that. Like, he's got his own piece of paper. We may as well just put him separately.
Yeah.
But Messi is up there. Again, someone who's got glue on his boots. I was only last night. I was watching greatest Champions League goals. And Messi was second. I can't remember who it was against, but he dribbled about past six players.
Was it Atletico?
I can't remember. No, I think it was Madrid. I don't know. There was quite a few goals from Messi in there, to be honest. But he was second.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just went past six players in one time. It's just little things, isn't it? Well, he's little in general, isn't he? Everything about him's petite, but I feel like he runs through players' legs at times.
Yes, he does remind you of, like, I remember when I was in primary school and I was playing and I was in like the younger years and I was playing with some of the older lads and they always looked so tiny and everyone used to say it's almost like I'd run through the legs. Messi's like that, but with like fully grown men. Like, he is a fully grown bloke and he's just like you say, so nimble-footed. I'm pretty sure the goal you're talking about was against Atletico, where he was starting off out wide, dribbled, and then obviously, yeah, like you said, beat everyone basically. But Messi's the kind of guy who can do that. He's small, like you said. Paul Scholes got commended because he was only a tiny guy, and he managed to excel, and obviously go as far as he did in his career. That's why a lot of people respect him. Messi's like that, obviously, but more like, it's mad. The size of him and the quality of that guy is just incredible. And again, I haven't got a chance to see Messi live. I've never seen Messi live in the flesh, and I would still, hopefully, like to be able to get a chance to see him because he's an absolute baller. But him, I'll be honest, I put him on my list. He's the third name on my list, but the second one, and I know you've missed him off, so I've got to talk to you about this one, is R9, the original Ronaldo. He's got to be up there for me. Iconic player. The picture of the boots around his neck, those boots are just insane. Just everything about him, he oozed class. I mean, he's one of the ugliest guys I think I've ever seen, but he made everything just look cool. I don't know what it is about that. R9 was just a quality player, goal scorer. He was the ultimate forward. I mean, you think of centre forwards and strikers, R9 is the first guy that comes to my mind.
My second name was also a Ronaldo, so I will have that, but it was the other one. Again, this is what we do in the evenings at the moment. We were watching R9's 15 World Cup goals, so we watched all his World Cup, and I will give it to you. He was some immense player. I don't know, like that Brazilian flair, hasn't he? Like, he was so good. I just perhaps maybe when I was getting into football, didn't follow him as such.
Yeah.
So when we talk about some other players and we say, we see clips of them.
Yeah.
Again, for me, in my memory, that's all I know of him. That's all I can think of him. And I don't think it's fair that I would perhaps. There's some other people in here that there are some people on my list that are nowhere near as great as R9 was. Nowhere near. But I think just because of memory wise, and I just didn't really put him in. But I will not argue with anybody the fact that he is an ultimate dream player. Yeah.
So far, if we're including your Ronaldo as well, I thought if we're doing a combined, so we say we're doing a combined 10, we'll decide on who we think should make the cut. Okay. So far, the 10 that we've got Ronaldinho, Messi, CR7 and R9. That's the 4 most creative players so far that we're saying from our generation, so what we remember of anyway. Someone put in the chat here, what about Kaká? To be honest, Kaká, I put on my list and I crossed him out because I thought he was a passing type, he was an amazing player and quality to watch. But then I thought, it's hard, and I'll tell you what it's hard. I've got a player here, JJ Okocha on my list. I don't know what you remember about JJ Okocha, Meg, but for me, Oh my god, seeing him in that Bolton kit, just doing rainbow flicks for fun, kick ups in the corner, like this guy, he had the audacity to come to the Premier League and do what he did. Like, what a guy! What a guy! Is JJ on your list, Meg?
He is on my list, and this is where probably, when I think back to the earliest memories of football for me, he's in that kind of era. So like this is, R9 was before that. Like JJ Okocha was. Even again, you look at him and you thought, has he done that? Like the little rainbow flicks over people's head and he was off. Like you said, the kick up from the middle of the pitch. He brought that flair to the Premier League. He was in Bolton's team now. They weren't the greatest of all time, were they, compared to the teams that were in there at the time? But he just had something about him. He was cocky enough to do it, and he was.
That was it. The arrogance. Like he just did it. Like he didn't care. He was at Bolton, fairly like what average team you'd say. In that Reebok shirt again, the guy just oozed class. Like he just oozed it. He was quality, and some of the stuff that he tried in the game, he dared to try in the game. Like you'd think, wow, like. What a guy. And I remember watching a documentary and they were saying like he was one of the most quiet guys ever in the dressing room, but then on a pitch he would just come to life. Like he'd be absolutely incredible, and it's just mad, isn't it? Like you said, the personality really comes out, doesn't it, on the pitch?
Yeah, and that's what I loved about him. He had the audacity to do it. Like,
yeah,
I mean, he did that. I was watching a clip of him earlier because when we talked about it and I put his name down, I was like, I'd love to go back and just have a quick view of what he actually did. But like I said, the rainbow flicks that he pulled off, the kick-ups, JJ Okocha so nice they named him twice.
It's true. They say he was so good.
Like Jumba, no?
Yeah, it doesn't work with everyone. Loire as well. Do you remember him? He was entertaining, to be fair.
You know what?
He was entertaining.
I nearly put him down because he was entertaining. You were like
that Pompey team.
You wanted him to score a goal so that he would celebrate because he was entertaining when he was celebrating. Yeah.
But you mentioned that like celebrating. Would you say the celebration counts as entertainment? Because Nani popped in my mind when I was thinking of entertaining players. Nani was an entertaining player. I know we always associate him with that red card against Real Madrid. That wasn't a red card, by the way, and I still stick to that this day. But Nani was an entertaining player, and like you said, the mad celebrations. You always look forward to that with Nani as well. The constant backflips, like class. But Nani didn't make my list, but it was a thought. A thought went there. A player we haven't mentioned yet. I'm surprised by, though. Is Neymar. I saw someone comparing Neymar to Ronaldinho not long ago. I don't think he's on that level, but Neymar is on a league of his own, definitely, in terms of, well, we already know he gets booked for doing rainbow flicks for it. He's a bit like JJ Okocha. He's got that arrogance and he just does it. Sometimes he's unsporting in the times that he does it. If the battering team, for example, he does take the piss a little bit, but he can't doubt Neymar is an entertaining player to watch, isn't he, Meg?
He is. He's on my list, of course. Again, he's got the confidence. I know a player that will have a go and will have a try. If he doesn't come off, he just pushes it off. I think there are parts of the game that I don't like, the diving and the rolling around on the floor. But yeah, I just think Neymar is someone you want to go and watch. These are players that you want to go and see. I'd love to go and see Neymar again. Talking about when I went back to Ronaldinho, I'd love to just go and watch him in a 5-a-side cage, just to have see how the skill level of him is just beyond.
Some of the most entertaining. I mean, remember my brother. My brother's not a massive football fan, but he used to show me videos on YouTube years ago. Like I lived with my mum and dad still, and it would be pictures and videos and Neymar. And he'd say, "What's this player? He's in the Brazilian league," and it just the mad skills for fun. And this was in league games, against tough opposition. I'm guessing at the time for him, he was young. And some of the stuff that he did even then, and that was before Neymar made it, that was just when he was a YouTube star, you could say, because of the freestyling he did. To be able to carry that out in the game, I mean, let alone be able to do a skill, but to do it in the game at full speed as well, it's just incredible. And Neymar, like I say, he's in a league of his own, isn't he? In today's current game, you'd say that Neymar is a league of his own in terms of the freestyle and the skill that he can do. But there is a lot of stuff off the pitch, obviously, that to do with his sister, that whole thing with his mom dating a 22-year-old TikTok star or wherever it was. Neymar's going to get it in the neck in the dressing room, isn't it, Meg? Imagine if you turned up and your stepdad is younger than you.
Yeah, I mean, but that again, I hope to see his personality, the way that he shows his personality, that what goes on off the pitch, on the pitch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if he is getting ripped a bit off the pitch, I'd like to see him bring it on the pitch.
Yeah.
to make sure everyone is quiet to him.
Yeah, you've got to shut them up, isn't he? Exactly, using his ability. It's a good point here. You know what? Someone said no one mentioned Zola. We haven't got to Zola yet. Zola, actually, is one guy who is an honourable mention for me. I didn't quite make my top 10, but he was up there. I had Ginola and I had Zola. Both of them, for me, were two players who could have quite easily got up there. They were entertaining players, definitely. I mean, do you remember much about Zola, Meg? Did you see much of Gianfranco Zola?
I went to watch him. I was lucky enough to go and I've seen him play against United at Old Trafford when I was younger, and he was someone I was amazed by.
Yeah.
I know, obviously, I support Manchester United, and as a child, I went to go and see Manchester United.
Yeah.
But I went to also go and see Zola because I thought he was like a magician.
Yeah.
With the ball again. Just so good.
He was, and you know what? Like, I didn't even think of this player, but thinking of Zola, it made me think of him. Joe Cole, when he was at Chelsea, he was an absolute baller, by the way. Joe Cole was a young English player. I thought he was also entertaining. But again, he's not on my list. But so far we've got Ronaldinho, Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, R9, JJ Okocha, Neymar, Meg. Who is going next? Who's making the cut, do you think?
I'm going to say it because, let me just find who. Okay, 08PRTK.
Yeah.
On the chat has mentioned them already. So Zinedine Zidane is on my list.
Quality player. You know what? Zidane, it was on mine as well, but I kind of put Kaka / Zidane. It was like these two like this. But I think, like I said earlier, I think Kaka's coming off and it'll have to be Zidane. Zidane, go on, why him, Meg? Why him?
Oh, like you said, Kaka was like a passing player for me. And although that's great, I don't think it's like the most entertaining. Whereas I just think Zidane was entertaining. I mean, even the headbutt was entertaining. Like
that's iconic, isn't it?
The headbutt is entertaining.
The clip of him walking past the World Cup after that, like, it's just iconic. Like, I remember that just feeling so bad. Like, he didn't even look, did he? He just went straight past the World Cup. Madness.
I think, he again, just what he could do with the football and the ease of it as well. Like, he brushed people off.
Yeah.
Just like in between players, just the way he could turn people. Yeah, just Zidane, really.
I mean, I've seen loads of names in here in the chat that I'm thinking, God, you know what, they're right. It's so hard to limit it to 10. And guys, your 10 obviously may be different. My 10 is probably different from Meg's. We're just trying to do an average between us two of a 10 that we find entertaining, that we can agree on. You can't not agree on Zidane, can you? I mean, when I see that French shirt nowadays, it makes me think of Zidane. Like, it was just iconic. So, yeah, Zidane. But I'm going to say here as well, another French player. Do you think Thierry Henry was in the top 10 as one of the most entertaining in the world?
I think he's not in my top 10. So is he on your list?
Yeah.
Okay, he's not on mine.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But I do agree that he was entertaining. Because he was, again, because of his talent and because of his skill level, that's why I would put him. Like, was it against Norwich, I think it was, where he kind of like, you know, when you let the ball run through your legs and then you back heel it.
Yeah.
Like, goals like that. That one just sticks out.
I mean, the one where he flicks it up and volleys it out like mad. But even little things like, I saw an interview the other day that he did. You might have seen the clip on Twitter where they're talking about the fact that he even turned up with his socks pulled over his knees and t-shirt and gloves on. Like, Henry started that. Like, everything about him, he was just a cool guy. He was just swaggy. Everything about him, he's just cold. And on the pitch, he just played like that. You said that arrogance just comes out on the pitch, and it's not a bad thing. It's just the ability with him was just immense. It was incredible, and I think that I can't not have Henry in my top 10. I really can't. I won't put him down at the minute because obviously you're not agreeing on that one. But I think he's one that we need to save because I think he could sneak back in definitely. Because Henry was just phenomenal.
I think. Do you know what? When I look at the name that I've got down here, which is my curveball.
Yeah.
Henry is probably more entertaining than this player that I've got written down.
We'll discuss it in a sec then. There were two. I think we might agree on this one. This is entertainment in terms of on the pitch, but also off the pitch. And it's a guy that I absolutely adore. I think he's like Marmite. You love him or you hate him. Most United fans love him. But Zlatan Ibrahimovic, for me, has to be on this list. He's got to be up there as one of the top 10 most entertaining players. Even just his interviews, like when someone questioned him saying he was gay and he said, come round my house and bring your friend or whatever he said and I'll show you who's gay. And just stuff like that, the audacity, like, I just love the guy. I love the guy.
He's on my list, so yeah, he can give him a tick. I am on the side where I love him. I think, what a character. He doesn't give a shit.
He doesn't.
Like, no fucks given about whatever he does. He's just great. He's just such a good personality to have. I'd love to be in a dressing room with him. I think, like, personality-wise, in a team, I think he would be awesome. And skill level, like some of the stuff that he pulls off. That goal for Sweden against England, and it had to be against England.
Yeah.
Like,
of course, it's against England.
Like, ridiculous, but so good.
Yeah, I think you can't not have him. Even the little stuff, even now, like, if I'm bored on YouTube, I just type in Zlatan top moments, and you just entertain for hours. Like you say, he just doesn't give a shit. He just does what he wants, and he's just an incredible player as well as that. Like, the competition between him and Pogba that they did, where they're doing the little freestyles and putting the ball, like, he's just effortless. He just makes it look easy. A bit like we said with Ronaldinho earlier, like, he just makes the game look easy. And look at the age he's at now, and he's still in, like, a peak condition. I know he's playing, obviously, in a lesser league, but he can still do it. The guy can still do it. What a player. Juninho is worth a mention, say Diesel as well. Juninho was a player, set-piece specialist as well. Definitely worth an honourable mention. But, Meg, so we've got Ronaldinho, Messi, CR7, R9, JJ Okocha, Neymar, Zidane, Zlatan. Who's next up for you?
Okay, so we're now getting to the point where I'm starting to think almost outside the box for entertainment. Okay,
yeah.
So this for me, when so I'll give you a hindsight. Sophie mentioned entertaining players, and I was like, there are some players that are good, played at a decent level, like top level, not like the best players in the world,
yeah,
but have something about them where like you're intrigued with them, like they like try and get you in a little bit more because they're so funny, or they've got something else going on for them as well. So the first one I'm going to go for has never played in the Premier League.
Okay.
He plays in Spain.
Okay.
And it's Marcelo.
You know what? He's on my honourable mention list, to be fair. He's on my honourable mention list. And when I was looking down, it was like Brazilian. I thought, I need to put someone else in there because all the Brazilians are taking over here. But Marcelo, some of the little touches that you see when the switches are playing, he's doing like a little, I don't know, back heel or whatever. He's just mad player. And he's a bit, I mean, Roberto Carlos is another honourable mention there as well because they're fullbacks and they're still some of the most exciting players you can find in your team, and that's just madness in itself, isn't it? But yeah, what a talented player Marcelo is. I'd say he's not the best defensively, he's not, but going forwards, he's just such an exciting player to watch, and he's got the audacity to just try some of the maddest stuff during games as well. So Meg, you know what?
He's, for me, I'll tell you why I put him in my list, because I've seen clips off the pitch as well.
Yeah.
That he make like
he's a bit of a prankster, isn't he?
Yeah, he's known for being a prankster, and like it's just the clips that I've seen of him again in the changing room where they've done like the headers, like, and he's doing it. Like, I feel like he's a bit of a like a ringleader in terms of the pranks that go on, or like taking the piss out of players, or like that one player that when you're in training will always try and meg you, like when you're standing still. That's Marcelo.
Yeah.
But I just find him entertaining. Like, when I see him play, I've got a smile on my face. When I see him off the pitch and I see clips off the pitch, I've got a smile on my face. Like, and that for me is entertaining. Yeah,
I agree. I think he is entertaining. Is he the most entertaining of our generation? I don't know if he makes the cut for the 10, but he's definitely an entertaining player. But I'm not going to put him up there just yet. But another honourable mention to a player, obviously, who was in the Premier League, for me, is so exciting to watch. So random, but you can definitely tell his personality comes out on the pitch. But Yannick Bolasie, for me, that little swipe he did when he strokes the grass before taking a defender on. What's that about? Like, who thinks of doing that? But that's what he tries new stuff all the time. And Bolasie, like, I mean, you could say Zaha as well, but Bolasie was just different. Like, the way he tried to play football, I loved it. He was playing just like he was over the park, and he was trying to be creative. He was just trying new stuff, and Bolasie, I think, deserves an honourable mention. I'm not saying he's the most of entertaining players. He doesn't make the cut, but he definitely deserves a mention as being one of the most entertaining players, surely.
Well, so on my list with like Bolasie, you've got someone else that I think Abdel Tarak, QPR. So this is the one that I was talking about when
You could put Payet.
Henry.
Do you remember Payet as well, Dimitri Payet? You could add him into a similar category to Tarat, to be fair.
So Tarat made my list, but when you mention Henry, you kind of think, yeah, okay, Henry's way more talented and way more skillful. But he was that player again that looked like he was playing in the park with his mates and would do things that would try new things, bit of skill, drop a bit of skill in there. I think when they play for a team, so he was in times at QPR.
Yeah.
And like JJ Okocha with him, Bolton, I think it stands out a bit more because they're not in teams that are surrounded by
It's
superstars.
a bit like Grealish at Villa. Like Grealish stands out because he's like basically carrying a poor Villa team, isn't he? And it is a bit like that. Like where they're the big fish in a little pond, a lot of players perform better, don't they, being that guy? And I think you are right. Like with Tarat, with Dimitri Payet, with JJ Okocha, they were that guy.
Yeah, I think that's why for me they stand out a bit more. Well, we'll just mention everyone on the chat. These are players from Soph's and my generation that we remember and watching. So there's a lot of names that people are putting in that yes, they're so entertaining, but we would only remember them from clips of football. We don't actually we haven't had the time. We weren't lucky enough to actually see them at the time that they were playing.
Yeah.
There's loads of people that are putting names, and I think that they are. I mean, we'll talk about it afterwards, but just so people are aware that they're just names that me and Soph.
It's not like we're sitting here and thinking, you know what, Eric Cantona was crap. He's nowhere near making the list. Yannick Bolasie is better than Eric Cantona. No, we're not saying that at all. We're just talking about players that we have seen enough of from our generation to say, you know what, wow, like, what an entertaining player that he was. You know what I mean? So Cantona was a quality player. Of course he was. Pele was a quality player. George Best was a quality player. But because we haven't seen enough of them, because they were just slightly before our time, slightly before the age that we would have started watching playing football, that's why we can't add them in. And that's why we're looking more towards the Thierry Henry kind of era, where we've seen more of that player play. Not necessarily in the Premier League, it can be from anywhere around the world, but players that we've seen more of, basically. So we've got our last player we added was Zlatan. We just added a few curveballs, it was interesting, but are we going to go with Henry? Is Henry going to get the nod there?
Henry, I'll put Henry in.
Yeah, so Henry. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is a 10. That is a 10. I'm going to read the list, guys, and in the chat, get with me.
Have you got anyone left on your list?
Yeah, I have, to be honest with you. I have. So I have got left on my list. I've got Dennis Bergkamp. Let's discuss Dennis Bergkamp to start with. We've gone with Henry, obviously a very similar era. Does Dennis make it?
I've got one player left on my list, on my top 10 list. Bergkamp was in my honourable mention list.
Yeah. So who's your last player?
My last player again. So similar to Marcelo, I think what I've seen of him off the pitch makes me entertained. I've seen him in interviews, he's entertaining. I've seen him in his club's kind of not vlogs, but kind of what they show on their TV. Yeah. And I've got Drogba written down.
Someone put Drogba in the chat earlier, you know. Someone put Drogba in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone did put Drogba earlier. Drogba was such an entertaining player. He was. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, such an entertaining player. You can't deny them that. But top 10 is hard because you've got loads of Van Persie and players like that as well who we haven't even mentioned, to be fair.
But I just think Drogba's got that thing off the pitch as well. It's a bit like Marcelo. And it's how you define entertaining.
Of course, yeah.
Me, across the whole board, you look at Zlatan, he's probably the master of it, where he's skillful and he has that edge, that personality off the pitch.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's why this list is obviously I've done one. Me and Soph don't even know who's on whose list at the moment.
No clue.
That's why we went for the obvious ones to start with, and our curveballs are coming through now, really.
Yeah. I mean, Wayne Rooney, someone just said in the chat, I was going to raise Wayne Rooney. I was going to say, what's got people's opinions on him? Was he entertaining? He was for me, because he just grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck and he played like he was on a park. So I'd have to say, yeah, Wayne Rooney was entertaining. But again, he's just not quite nipping into that top 10. It's so hard to limit it to 10 players. I think when you narrow it down like this, you realise that actually there's a lot of players who were entertaining, and it just really brings it to light, because it's easy to focus on the players, for example, Scholes wasn't on my list, and Scholes was entertaining, of course he was, but he was a passing entertainer. And the fact that he couldn't tackle just used to crack me up, because that was entertaining in itself. Like, it used to crack me up. But I'm going for more flair players. So someone else who I think deserves a mention, to be fair, and should be added onto the list, and that's this guy.
The most skillful in the Premier League.
You cannot tell me that Phil Jones is not entertaining, though, Meg. For his own unique reasons, he's entertaining.
He is so entertaining. Do you know what? You can tell an entertaining player when they've got their own gif and like their own meme about him. Like that's Phil Jones in a nutshell.
Have you seen when Jimenez scored against us for Wolves? Have you seen the clip of that being slowed down and Phil Jones' face as he lands and then lifts back up? Please tell me you've seen that.
I've seen the one where he's like crawling across the floor and he's like bobbing his head along. But like he's entertaining, isn't he? Like he has.
I just love the guy. I can't help it.
Like an entertaining player is someone who will make you smile. Like
I just love Phil Jones. Bless him. He's a walking meme, isn't he? It's just. And he just dyes his hair like pure white as well. Like, why does Phil Jones do these things? But, yeah, you love the guy, but of course he's not making the top 10. But I think he deserves a mention as being someone who's entertaining. So if I read these 10, I think this is our finalised 10. And then we'll go through the players who we think deserve a mention, Meg. Alright, so we've got no particular order. I think if it was an order, I think Ronaldinho would be the top one, though. But we've got Ronaldinho, Messi, CR7, R9, JJ Okocha, Neymar, Zinedine Zidane, Zlatan and Thierry Henry. That is a great top 10, isn't it? And I've seen a few people saying in the chat many names. Pirlo, for example. I saw someone mention Henrik Larsson earlier as well, who I absolutely love, by the way. I've got him on my ultimate team on FIFA. That's how much I love Henrik Larsson. What a player. But Meg, firstly, tell us the people who you believe should be mentioned, are good enough to be mentioned as an honourable mention in terms of top 10 entertaining players.
So, like we would mention, these are players from our generation. The ones that then I was thinking of, names come into your head, but I've really based it on clips I've watched. So you got your Maradona, which I thought was entertaining. Pele, Bergkamp was in there that we already mentioned. Johan Cruyff. Now he started the Cruyff turn. He's got a skill named after him.
Yep.
But again, he retired before me and Sophie were born. We worked that out before we came on here. So although he's got a skill named after him, obviously we don't know enough about him. We didn't get to see him. Cantona, but we've already mentioned that. Then I put two names down, which I've gone for the curveball kind of entertainment side. I put David Luiz down because I think he is an entertaining player off the pitch as well. On the pitch, you know, some of the things that he does, you just think, why have you done that? Like, how have you got away with that on the pitch? If you're a defender, you shouldn't be able to do that. And then I've seen him on like interviews and stuff like that. And the other one, who I just think, when you watch, you think, why has he like the audacity to do some stuff? And you kind of, you know, when you hear stories about them, and you think, oh my God, did they actually do that? Is Mario Balotelli?
Why is it always me? Balotelli, yeah, you can't argue with that. He was entertaining. I mean, I couldn't stand the guy. I heard a story about I think he went to a petrol station in Manchester, didn't he? And he filled up his car, but he also filled up the cars of everybody else who was at the station, I believe. I heard that story when he was still playing for City. And it's stuff like that that makes you realise that, yeah, you're right, like, he has got a personality and he's entertaining. Balotelli deserves a mention, yeah. I didn't add him on, actually.
The story of him came into Milan under Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
And they were winning, I think, and all they needed to do was win. And Mourinho had said, right, just stay as it is for 15 minutes or so, and then we'll sub you off. And then within 5 minutes, he'd been sent off. He's like, all he needed to do was just stay on the pitch, and he got sent off within 5 minutes of the restart. But things like that, like just pure entertainment, like a player who will literally entertain you. I'm not saying he's the greatest, and no way is he better than some of the players that we've mentioned, but he was entertaining. Yeah. But I wouldn't want him on my team. Yeah.
I mean, another one is Diego Costa. You can't deny he's entertaining. He's one of these players where you'd love him on your team, but you hate him when he's not. Like, he just irritates you. I saw the little clip just before the coronavirus outbreak, actually. It was after they played Liverpool, and did you see that there was a line of reporters, a line of press, and as he comes jogging out the dressing room, he like coughed in the direction of all of them. Did you see that clip? Like that is what Diego Costa is like, isn't it? I mean, obviously it's not funny in the grand scheme of things, but he just does not give a toss, and that's the point we're getting at. Like players who are entertaining, not just on the pitch but off the pitch as well. And Diego Costa, you have to say, he comes in that. But he's one of these people like Zlatan, you love him or you hate him. Like me, I think you would love him on your team, but when he's not on your team, you can't stand him. So I'd probably say I'm more towards the can't stand him. But I understand why people love him. I understand it.
I love him. RB Comps is just for he's in Sergio Ramos tier. I must have that as unpopular. Like I must be like a really unpopular opinion person because I love Sergio Ramos as well. I absolutely love him. Someone just talked about goalkeepers, and I was going to mention that one person, but I don't know the name with all the hair.
The Colombian goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, get in the chat. What's his name now? The one who does the scorpion kick.
Yeah. I can't think of his name.
Yeah. Well, someone will give it us, but yeah, entertaining. You'd say definitely. Barthez was entertaining though.
If you can give us his name.
But I bet Barthez as well. He was entertaining. He definitely kept me on the edge of your seat. Definitely. Some honourable mentions from me: Del Piero, Pirlo. Who else have we got? Pogba is an honourable mention for me because I think Paul Pogba, a lot of people, he can be entertaining. Look, he can, and he's got a lot of stuff going on off the pitch as well. Because of the amount of stuff going off the pitch, and because he hasn't really done a lot in a United shirt, that's why he hasn't made my top 10. But I do think that Paul Pogba is an entertaining player, and on his day, like we all know, he has got a lot of talent, so he'd definitely be on there. Higuita is the name of that keeper, I believe. So, yeah, Pogba. Marcelo was on mine as a wild card as well. We've already mentioned Marcelo. Roberto Carlos. I think that's most of Wayne Rooney as well, but we've already discussed Wayne Rooney. Some people saying here Giggs. Actually, yeah, I did have Roy and Giggs. I didn't have Beckham though. Why did none of us have Beckham? Why did we think of Beckham?
I don't know. It didn't even cross my mind.
I think it's because we're thinking of the people who are going to be doing rainbow fix or taking people on, and Beckham obviously was more of a set piece kind of guy.
Roberto Carlos was another one. I think we mentioned him earlier.
Yeah. Roberto Carlos was another one, entertaining. A bit like Marcelo, we said, an entertaining fullback, which is rare to come by. So quality players there. But yeah, guys, that's our top 10. And what we're going to do, obviously, after this video is uploaded as well, I'd appreciate if you guys get in the comments and let us know what yours is. I'd be intrigued to see how it is different from ours. And obviously, like we've already mentioned, we're basing it from our lifetime, from our generation, from where we started watching football. And people like Pele, Cantona, Cruyff, they were just before us, unfortunately, but we still appreciate that they are quality players and they are super talented and very entertaining, and we're not disputing that at all. But we'd be just focusing on players from our generation. And I think, Meg, we've come up with a pretty good list there. Are we both agreed on the fact that the most entertaining player of our generation, that was Ronaldinho?
There is no doubt. Nobody can argue with us. Nobody argue with us today. I'm not having it. Right?
It's hard. Guys,
nobody argue with me. Ronaldinho was in a different league. Like, different league. He's like on his own, just playing football in the park, away from everyone else because he is too good for everyone.
It's just the audacity to try some of the stuff he tried. Like, nobody would even think that. Like, passing with your back, nobody would have even thought of that. And Ronaldinho, he made that. And that's why I like Thierry Henry as well, because like I say, he kind of created a style of football. Henry did that, and that's why I respect those players. But I agree, Ronaldinho has to take the top spot. After that, there's 9 players that you guys need to choose from. So get in the comments after this video. I want to see what you guys think, because there's a lot of names coming up here. People think they're better than us, Meg. People think they can do better than us. But you try and narrow it down to 10 players, and it is hard.
People are arguing with us about Ronaldinho. You can stop.
Not having it. I'm not having it. Ronaldinho takes number 1, definitely. Meg, thank you so much for coming on again. As always, I appreciate it. Guys, there's currently 19 people in the chat. Can we make sure we hit that like button as well? We'd really appreciate that. And if you're new, hit the sub button if you obviously like our content. But you've got to say Ronaldinho's number 1 if you're going to subscribe, though. I'm joking. No, guys, but I am genuinely intrigued to see what other people say. I'm genuinely want to see who your top 10 are and how different or how wrong do you think me and Meg are. But Meg, thank you for coming on.
The answer is that we're not wrong. Don't argue with us. If you're here to sub, you don't argue with us. What we say is right. No, thanks everyone. Nice little challenge, Soph, today.
Yeah.
When you mentioned about the entertainment, I was like, ooh.
I'll think of another challenge for next week. We'll
have to Joe Cole English Entertainment. He massively underachieved, in my opinion.
Yeah, he was a quality young, like when he came through the ranks, and he was obviously little as well. really skillful player, scored some really important, some really quality goals as well. I think he was underrated, Joko.
I will just put the one comment, my favourite comment of the day, RB comments. Can we count Arsenal's defence as one player? They're pure entertainment.
You know what? Can we get Arsenal's current squad as one player, to be fair? Not just the defence, just banter. I did like that. That is the best comment. Well done to Roberto for that one. Definitely taking number one spot for comments. But guys, thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Di Canio was put there, football crew. I forgot about Di Canio. What a player. I mean, you can't push the ref over and not make one of the most entertaining players, to be fair. Di Canio deserves a mention, 100%. But you know what? That's a good... Maybe next time we could discuss the most entertaining managers. Someone's just put that in the chat there, and that might be a good challenge for us for future, Meg. We think about the most entertaining managers. Jurgen Klopp, you are not making it for me. You try and be entertaining, but I can't stand him. Nah, it's hard. Most entertaining managers.
I feel like we need another... Let us know as well. Unpopular opinions.
Yes.
Unpopular opinions, because apparently no one else likes Sergio Ramos in the chat.
Ramos is another one. He splits people. Like, some people love him and some people hate him. He's a bit like that, isn't he? I think it's because he gets sent off so much, but especially at the prime of his career, he was a quality defender. I'd have to say I do like Ramos. But he did use us to get a better contract. I was hoping that was true, that he was coming to United, really deep down knowing that it wasn't true. But I got my hopes up then, and that's why I've learnt my lesson from that. I'm not getting sucked in anymore. But Meg, thank you so much. Obviously, same again next week. We'll be back. And we appreciate all your support. The Soph and Meg show, we're continuing with it. We're going to be consistent with it. And you guys are always really supportive, so we appreciate it. And if there's anything that you guys want us to discuss as well, a bit like we just have done, we're up for doing some challenges. We've done a Q&A. We've done our Ultimate Premier League 11, haven't we, Meg? We've done a lot of different challenges. We've done a Soph versus Meg as well. We're up for doing that. Let us know what you're interested in seeing, guys. Give us some ideas for some content. We appreciate it. And take care, guys. Look after yourselves and stay safe. That's all we can say in this moment, isn't it? And obviously, if you haven't already, please do hit that sub button. Your support really does mean a lot to us. But guys, thank you so much. Meg, anything else you want to say?
No, not really. Happy St George's Day, everyone.
Yes, happy St George's Day.
But other than that, obviously, keep safe, as Soph mentioned, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you guys. Keep safe, stay positive, keep that morale high, look after yourselves, and me and Meg will be back next week. I'm back at 11 o'clock tomorrow with my FIFA career. I've kept my job. Solskjaer is still in charge. I haven't been sacked, so I'm going to look at doing some transfers. So yeah, new season is starting tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Hope to see most of you there. Take care, guys.